In the quiet chambers of your heart, a profound ache resonates. The echoes of laughter, shared dreams, and whispered promises now feel like distant, mocking sounds. Someone you trusted implicitly, someone whose presence filled your world with light, has walked away. The void they left behind is not merely an absence, but a gaping wound, bleeding sorrow and confusion. You find yourself adrift, feeling abandoned, heartbroken, and utterly lost, replaying moments, searching for answers that never come. Was your love not enough? Were your efforts in vain? Did your very essence hold so little value that it could be discarded with such ease? This pain, raw and relentless, is deeply understood. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, witnesses every tear you shed, every silent plea, every moment you smiled through the agony, pretending to be whole when you felt shattered. It saw your pure heart, brimming with hopeful belief in their every word, their every assurance. It observed the quiet agony of waiting for a message, a call, a sign that never materialized. Your love, once a vibrant flame, now feels like a forgotten chapter, hastily closed and filed away. Your soul, in its innocent bewilderment, whispers the haunting question, "Was I so easy to leave?" Yet amidst this profound desolation, a timeless message emerges, clear and resonant. They broke their promise, but he never left your soul. This is the profound truth offered by Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is not merely a distant deity, but the intimate companion residing within your heart. While human relationships, by their very nature, are subject to the impermanence of the material world, Krishna's connection to you is eternal, unconditional, and unwavering. He is the ultimate witness, the silent observer of every joy and sorrow, the constant presence even when all else seems to abandon you. Consider the depth of this understanding. Krishna, as the indwelling supersoul, Paramatma, is intimately aware of every thought, every emotion, every hidden pain. He saw the purity of your intentions, the sincerity of your affection, and the vulnerability with which you offered your heart. He witnessed the hopeful anticipation that blossomed within you, nourished by promises that ultimately proved hollow. And when the inevitable rupture occurred, when the one you cherished turned their back, he was there, not as a judge, but as a compassionate observer, holding the space for your grief. Unmasking conditional love, a lesson in true worth. The love that left when things became challenging, the affection that lingered only as long as you served a purpose, or the connection that dissolved when faced with inconvenience, this was, by definition, never true love. True love in its purest form is unconditional, selfless, and enduring. It does not ebb and flow with circumstances, nor does it demand utility or convenience. What you experienced, though painful, was a reflection of the inherent limitations and imperfections of material attachments. Human beings, bound by their own desires, fears, and ego, often offer a love that is conditional, even if unconsciously so. This realization is not meant to diminish the validity of your feelings or the depth of your loss. It is rather an invitation to understand that your worth was never diminished by their departure. Your value does not fluctuate based on someone else's perception or presence. It is an intrinsic, immutable quality inherent in your very being as a spiritual soul, a fragment of the divine. Their inability or unwillingness to recognize and reciprocate the depth of your love speaks to their own journey and limitations, not to any deficiency within you.
To believe otherwise is to accept a false narrative that undermines your inherent spiritual dignity. Embracing duality, wisdom from the Bhagavad Gita. As Krishna famously instructed Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, facing his own profound despair and emotional turmoil. Pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat, love and heartbreak, they come and go like seasons. Endure them with courage, for none of them last forever. This profound verse from the Bhagavad Gita offers a crucial perspective on the transient nature of the material world and its dualities. Life in this realm is characterized by opposing forces: happiness and sorrow, success and failure, union and separation. These experiences are not anomalies, but integral parts of the human condition, cycling through our lives like the changing seasons. Arjuna, overwhelmed by the prospect of fighting his own kin, was paralyzed by grief and attachment. Krishna's counsel was not to deny the pain, but to understand its temporary nature. Just as winter inevitably gives way to spring, so too will the season of heartbreak eventually yield to new beginnings. The key lies in developing the spiritual fortitude to endure these fluctuations without being completely consumed by them. This endurance is not passive resignation, but an active cultivation of inner strength, rooted in the understanding that your true self, the soul, remains untouched by these external shifts. They may have broken your heart, a fragile vessel of human emotion, but they could not and can never break your soul. The soul is eternal, indestructible, and beyond the reach of material suffering. It is a spark of the divine, inherently full of knowledge, eternality, and bliss. The pain you feel is a temporary affliction upon the mind and body, not a permanent scar upon your spiritual essence. The courage to grieve, the strength to believe. In the aftermath of such a profound loss, it is natural and necessary to grieve. Cry if you need to cry. Allow the tears to flow, for they are a cleansing balm for a wounded heart. Suppressing grief only prolongs the healing process. Acknowledge the sadness, the anger, the confusion, and the sense of betrayal. These emotions are valid and deserve to be felt without judgment. However, amidst the tears, there is one crucial law you must never allow to take root in your mind. Never believe the lie that you are unworthy of love. This insidious thought often accompanies abandonment, whispering doubts about your inherent value. It suggests that if you were truly lovable, truly enough, they would not have left. This is a false narrative, a cruel deception. Your worth is not determined by someone else's capacity to love you, nor by their decision to stay or go. Your worth is inherent, bestowed upon you by the supreme source of all existence. An eternal connection. Krishna knew you first. Before they knew your name, before they ever saw your face, Krishna knew you. Before they held your hand, before their touch ever graced your skin, he held your soul. This is the profound truth of your eternal relationship with the divine. You are not a random occurrence, a mere product of chance. You are a beloved child of God, an eternal spiritual being, and your connection with Krishna is primordial, predating all temporary material relationships. This understanding shifts the paradigm of abandonment. When they left, when their presence vanished from your life, he was there, whispering, "You are mine." His presence is not contingent on your perfection, your utility, or your ability to please him. It is an unconditional embrace, a constant reassurance that you are cherished beyond measure. This whisper is not a fleeting comfort, but an eternal truth echoing through the corridors of your soul.
The path to unfading peace, resting in His hands. The cycle of chasing what has left, of desperately clinging to a fractured past, is exhausting and ultimately futile. It keeps you tethered to a source of pain, preventing you from moving forward. Rest now. Release the relentless pursuit of answers from someone who chose to walk away. Stop replaying scenarios. Stop analyzing every word and action. Stop hoping for a return that may never come. True peace does not lie in reclaiming what was lost, but in finding solace in what remains, the eternal, unwavering love of Krishna. Lay your broken heart in His hands. This is an act of profound surrender, a conscious decision to release the burden of your grief and trust in a higher power. It means acknowledging your vulnerability and inviting the divine into the deepest recesses of your pain. When you surrender your pain to Krishna, you are not simply giving up. You are opening yourself to a healing that transcends human capacity. And in return for this surrender, He will give you a peace the world cannot steal. This is not a superficial calm dependent on external circumstances. It is an internal tranquility, a deep-seated serenity that remains undisturbed by the storms of life. This peace is a byproduct of reconnecting with your spiritual essence and realizing that your true happiness lies not in material attachments, but in your eternal relationship with the Supreme. The promise of eternal love and unfading peace. Krishna's love is not like the transient affections of this world. It is not a love that judges, criticizes, or abandons. It is a love that is pure, selfless, and eternally expanding. When you turn to Him, He offers an eternal love that knows no end, no conditions, and no betrayal. This love is a constant source of strength, comfort, and joy, accessible at all times, regardless of your external circumstances. It is the perfect antidote to the pain of abandonment, filling the void left by conditional human relationships. This divine love is inextricably linked to unfading peace. The peace that Krishna offers is not merely the absence of conflict, but a positive state of spiritual contentment. It is the peace that comes from knowing your true identity, your eternal connection to the divine, and your ultimate purpose. This peace cannot be disturbed by external losses, by the actions of others, or by the inevitable dualities of the material world. It is a sanctuary within your own heart, built upon the foundation of spiritual truth. You are deeply cherished. In the grand tapestry of existence, every thread has its unique place and value. You are not an insignificant detail, easily overlooked or forgotten. On the contrary, you are not forgotten. You are deeply cherished. This is the ultimate reassurance, the balm for every wound inflicted by abandonment. The universe, through the boundless compassion of Krishna, affirms your inherent worth and your eternal significance. Let this truth permeate your being. Allow it to heal the scars of betrayal and rebuild the foundation of your self-worth. The journey through heartbreak is arduous, but it can also be a profound spiritual awakening. It is an opportunity to shift your focus from the temporary to the eternal, from the conditional to the unconditional. Embrace the tears, but do not dwell in despair. Understand that the pain you feel is a temporary visitor, and like all seasons, it too shall pass. Turn your gaze inward,
towards the ever-present light of Krishna's love within your heart. In his embrace, you will find not only healing, but a profound, unfading peace that will sustain you through all of life's challenges. You are loved, you are worthy, and you are eternally cherished.